Hey guys, how's it going? Shane with Eastman Insurance Solutions, and today we are talking about the most overlooked coverages that I see on auto insurance policies. We have, as an industry, really created a vacuum and a disservice to you, the end user, because our marketing messages, our advertisements on TV, really push people to place all of their emphasis and value of insurance on the premiums that they pay monthly. And as such, we really create a disservice to you, the user, because a lot of really valuable coverages tend to be overlooked, skipped, dismissed, or not even talked about. And so the purpose of this video is to bring you a few of those coverages, their importance, and why you need to call today and get them added to your policy if you don't have them already. So let's get started. The first coverage that I see that is really overlooked is medical payments. I've personally heard insurance agents instruct their clients to take that off because, hey, you have medical insurance. Really missing the mark as to why this insurance is so crucially important and how it can really save you in the event of an accident. So let me give you a scenario. You and I are driving down the street. We just got done playing golf. We're chit-chatting, talking about the great game that you played and how I sucked. And you don't notice that the vehicle in front of you slams on their brakes and we plow into the back of them. I smack my head on your dashboard and I split my head open. I got to go to the ER and I get 15 stitches and I walk away with a concussion. Doctor says, hey man, you're going to be off work 7 days on concussion protocol. And I'm sitting at home for 7 days, bored out of my ever-loving mind, watching daytime TV, and I'm getting hammered by injury attorneys telling me how much money I can make if I simply sue your insurance company. What insurance companies have found out, what statistics have proven, is that MedPay is the only coverage that the insurance company gives you the ability to extend coverage, and by doing so, by saying, hey Shane, I feel horrible about this, do me a favor, send me any copays that you have, any ER out-of-pocket expenses, anything that you have as a result of this accident, do me a favor, send it to me. I want to take care of it. I feel horrible about this, and it's just the right thing to do. By doing so, you tend to curb that angst or that, I need to get paid, and blows something, you prevent something from blowing up into this huge issue or ordeal that could have just been handled by you doing the right thing and covering the out-of-pocket expenses. So MedPay, look on your policy. If you don't have it, call your insurance agent, your insurance company today, get it added on. It might cost you $30 a year to add this coverage to your policy. Very inexpensive, very crucial coverage to have. Number 2 is matching uninsured motorist coverage limits. I see this far too often from people that buy policies online, as well as purchase policies through an agent that is really not proactive in explaining coverages and really just want to sell an insurance policy. What I am talking about is you have your bodily injury limits. Let's say they're $250,000 per person, $500,000 per accident. That's for everybody that is on the road that you may get into an accident with. You're covering them for $250,000 a person, $500,000 an accident. Okay, your uninsured motorist coverage limits cannot surpass that, but what I see happening too frequently is that uninsured limit may be at $5,100 or maybe $100,300. In my opinion, and in my household, my family, my friends are the most important people in the equation. The people in my vehicle that I love and care about, they're the most important people in the equation. I'm not going to do them a disservice by covering them for less than I would everybody else out on the road. So if you get into an accident, the driver is uninsured, or more frequently, they're driving around with the state minimum limits of $15,000 per person, $30,000 per accident, and it's not a large enough amount to take care of the injuries you sustained, you can actually file a claim against your insurance policy and get covered up to those policy limits. Again, huge coverage, not a big difference in premium. This one may run you $100 a year. We're not talking about anything that is extravagant or over the top. Make sure that you have this coverage. You can't go higher than your liability limits, but they always need to match. Next coverage, rental reimbursement and towing. This is a coverage that I bring up frequently, and the kickback that I get is, hey man, I have rental reimbursement through, or excuse me, I have towing coverage through my phone. I have towing coverage through AAA. Blah blah blah. And then rental reimbursement. Hey, I've got an extra vehicle. If my car is disabled, I'll just use that extra vehicle. And what happens is people get into an accident. Something prevents them from utilizing their other towing service, or their secondary vehicle is broken down or it's not registered. And so people get really upset because they have to come out of pocket $1,000 to cover the rental car because they were ill prepared. Again, very inexpensive coverage, and unless you're going to be extremely diligent about stuffing some money away every month, which I know you're not going to, but let's pretend you're going to, unless you're going to be diligent about stuffing that money away to cover that loss, you need to purchase this coverage. Lastly, special equipment coverage. Listen, we live in California, the car customization capital of the nation, maybe the world. Dubai's kind of coming in strong. People like to customize their cars. They like to, hey man, let me put some rims and tires on here, or a stereo system. This is a very overlooked coverage. Your unendorsed insurance policy is only built to recoup or repay you the way that car rolled off of the manufacturer line. So the hubcaps that it had on, or the steel wheels, the 8-track player that's in the dash, what have you, anything that you swap out, you're not going to be reimbursed on unless you have special equipment coverage. This is a coverage that I personally carry on my insurance policies. I have $5,000 of special equipment coverage, and I do so because I have rims and tires, I have a lift kit, I have hideaway steps, I have a stereo system, and in the event of a loss, I want to get recouped for what I put into my truck. Now, for $5,000 of coverage, just to throw some numbers at you, for $5,000 of special equipment coverage, it cost me $200 a year. Is it worth it? To me, it is. To you, it might not. But at least you know, and in that event, in the event of a loss, you're not upset because all you're getting is the cost of the actual cash value for the car. So these are the most common overlooked auto insurance coverages. If you have questions, client or not, we're always here to be of value to you. Give us a call. Do me a favor. If for nothing else, pop open your insurance policies, take a look at it, scan. If any of this applies to you, call your insurance agent. Be proactive, ask questions, figure out what the costs for the coverages are. And again, at least that way you know, hey, I'm self-insuring in these categories and I'm good with that. It lends to a better claims experience when you know what your policy has in it and doesn't. That way you don't get caught off guard at time of loss. As always, if there's anything we can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out. Client or not, we're here to be a resource to you. We'll instruct you and we'll get you on the right road. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.